AskReddit by Bipolar Nightmare. Which celebrity death actually made you sad? When Debbie Reynolds passed away right after her daughter Carrie Fisher. I can't imagine what the death of a child would do to a person at that age. It seemed like she died of a broken heart. Honestly, the one I feel bad for is Todd Fisher, because imagine in the space of just 24 hours losing your sister then your mother. I can't even imagine how traumatizing that would be. Most recently, Andre Braugher, just way too soon. So sad. Andre and Matthew passing hurts my sitcom lover heart so much. They brought me so much joy with their roles. Chandler is my top 2 favorite TV show of all time and Holt is my 4th. Robin Williams. Me too. This was actually the first and only time I have cried because of death of celebrity. It was weird feeling. I did not know him, he didn't know I existed. But it still felt like I lost a good friend I grew up with. Anton Yelchin. That guy had so much more to do. I still get sad about him. Chris Farley, Phil Hartman. Chris Farley passing was like the spirit of the 90s passing. Alan Rickman. Came to say Alan Rickman. It still makes me sad to think about the fact he isn't alive anymore. What a fantastic man. Grant Imahara. This really hit me. Growing up, Mythbusters was my favorite show. It's honestly what got me interested in science. Steve Irwin. Grew up watching him. The one who actually was making the world a better place. May he rest in peace. John Ritter. That was when the concept of death really sunk in for me as a kid. I remember being very upset and confused when my parents had to explain why he wasn't coming back to 8 Simple Rules. I rewatched the show recently and the episodes after he passed were heartbreaking. Dolores O'Riordan. I can't explain why her death hit me harder than many others posted here. But it did. I felt the same about Sinead O'Connor. Brandon Lee. He had so much potential. Leonard Nimoy. I love Star Trek and his death hurt. I know he lived a full life but it still sucked. I have been and always shall be your friend. Live long and prosper. Andre Bohr. Same. Captain Holt is one of my all-time favorite characters. Hearing how good of a human Andre was breaks my heart for his family and friends. He was a treasure. Chris Cornell. Fucking guy could sing. David Bowie. He was one of my first icons. Same. I remember listening to Black Star for the first time upon finding out of his death. It was an out-of-the-world experience. I was just there crying on the bar over a drink. I was spaced for days. Up until now, it's hard to listen to Black Star. Simply because it's a clear reminder of how it ended and how amazing and sad it was that he knew it's the end. What a class act. I love him. Prince and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Glad someone else mentioned Philip Seymour Hoffman. What a deep talent. Totally owned any role he stepped into, no matter how small, and stole every scene he was in. Anthony Bourdain gutted me. He was the first and only person that I didn't personally know to make me that sad. I was so confused at first. I can't watch his shows anymore because it brings up those same feelings of loss again. John Candy. Was literally just watching Uncle Buck today and couldn't remember when John died. Shocked it was 1994. He was so young. He seemed like a genuinely lovely man. Chadwick Boseman. I wasn't a huge fan or anything, but seeing the interviews leading up to his death makes it so much worse. He is clearly very sick and he knows it. Even said in one interview when they asked about his character's future and he said I'm dead. The interviewer took it as a spoiler joke. And the most crazy fucking thing? His inner circle didn't let it out into the world that he was sick. Those are the people you want. Brittany Murphy. Poor Brittany. And a really fishy passing, with her husband passing due to the same causes just 2 months later. I wonder what really happened. Carrie Fisher. And Debbie Reynolds a couple days later. That was heartbreaking. Norm Macdonald. Pee Wee Herman. Norm was my neighbor. Sean Locke. Yes. I sat behind him on a train down to London once. He had his son with him who was maybe around 6/7. Sean had his little boy in absolute fits of laughter for the whole journey, telling him silly stories and making funny observations. He was supremely polite and friendly to the rail staff too, and you could tell he was just a top guy. I was gutted when he died. Gene Wilder. The legend. Mac Miller. He was a great soul battling demons. Accidental overdose too. Mac is so sad. There's so much inadvertent foreshadowing of his death in his music. I think he knew he was heading down the road he was on and he sort of accepted it. Fell asleep and forgot to die is one of the lines that really sticks with me.